Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to another video today. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be going over the non-liquidating Sears and Kmart stores as of Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. So, there are currently no stores closing. There were two that just closed, one in Florida and one in my home state of New Jersey. So with the closing of the two stores, which just happened, we have a total of 17 non-liquidating stores. That's 11 Sears stores and 6 Kmart stores. So this is going to be a little bit more of an elaborate video because the last video was rushed. So today we're going to go over all of the Sears and Kmart locations that are not closing as of Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. So with Kmart Continental Mainland, United States, we have the Kmart store at the Bridgehampton Commons Shopping Center in Bridgehampton, New York, and we also have the Kmart store at the Kendall Lakes Plaza Shopping Center in Kendall Lakes, Miami, Florida. Kmart off Mainland Continental United States, we have the Kmart store in Guam, Guam. The Kmart store at the Sunny Isle Shopping Center in St. Croix, United States, Virgin Islands. The Kmart store at the Tutu Park Mall in St. Thomas, United States, Virgin Islands. And finally, the Kmart store at the Lockhart Gordon Shopping Center in St. Thomas, United States, Virgin Islands. And if I didn't mention it, it's the Sunny Isle Shopping Center is the only Kmart in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. Then we get to Sears Continental Mainland, United States. We have the Kmart store at the Burbank Town Center in Burbank, California. We have the Sears store at the Sun Valley Shopping Center in Concord, California. The Sears store at the Webstertown Mall in Stockton, California. The Sears store at the Whitwood Town Center in Whittier, California. The freestanding Sears store in Coral Gables, Miami, Florida. The Sears store at the Florida Mall in Orlando, Florida. The Sears store at the South Shore Plaza in Braintree, Massachusetts. The Sears store at the Cielo Vista Mall in El Paso, Texas. The Sears store at the Westfield South Center Mall in Tuckalawea, Washington State. And finally, the Sears store at the Valley Mall in Union Gap, Washington. Then we have Sears off mainland continental United States, and we have the Sears store at Plaza Las Americas Mall in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So those are all of the non-liquidating Sears and Kmart stores as of March 12th of 2024. So now we're going to go over the map that was created by Dead and Dying Retail of all of the locations that are currently not closing as of Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. So obviously this map will be updated as we do get more announcements of locations, if they do announce that more locations will close, which will happen, by the way, at some point. We just don't know when. Okay, so we're going to start out in Guam, just north of the Antonio B. Juan International Airport, and we have the Kmart store, which is a freestanding Kmart store. This Kmart store used to have a Kmart pharmacy. However, that Kmart pharmacy has since been changed over. They signed on a contract with a third party, and now the third party is the party that's operating the pharmacy inside the Kmart store. That is quite a mouthful, but I wanted to clarify that with you guys. In addition to having a third-party pharmacy, there is also a Little Caesars pizza inside the Kmart discount department store. So what makes that unique as well is there's just the Kmart and obviously the Little Caesars pizza inside the store. So that in itself is pretty freaking cool in itself, so I apologize for that real quick. I thought I got some sort of notification. Okay, getting back to the video, rather. Sorry, a little bit of distraction. So again, this is the Kmart store in Tuaming, Guam, which is a United States territory, by the way, in the Pacific Ocean. This is the state of Hawaii. Okay, and we get to the greater Seattle-Tacoma area, just a little bit east of the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. We have the Sears store at the Westfield South Center Mall in Tuckalawea, Washington State. This is the last multi-level Sears department store within the state of Washington, and as well as being the last Sears store at a Westfield property in North America. That is pretty significant in itself. So again, it's the Sears store at the South Center Mall in Tuckalawea, Washington State. Okay, and then we go south here. The next Sears store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at the Valley Mall in Union Gap, Washington. I can't believe they reopened this store. But again, I guess they are trying to fulfill a lease obligation, which they can't get out of unless there's another tenant that comes in and does a full buyout of the Sears store. So the Sears store will remain open yet again. So once this store does close, of course, I'll be making a closing announcement about this Sears store when it does close again, because it will definitely close again. There is no way that this store is going to survive. I think Raymond Marquez is really full of it if he thinks that. So we go down the west coast or the Pacific coast of the United States, and the next two Sears stores that we're going to hit are just outside of the greater San Francisco, San Jose, Stockton, and Sacramento area of California. We're actually going to go to this one first. So we have the Sears store at the Sun Valley Shopping Center in Concord, California. And this is one of two Sears stores left within the greater Bay Area of California. So again, it's the Sears store at the Sun Valley Shopping Center in Concord, California. Okay, and then we get to our next Sears store, which is just a few miles east. It's at the right across the street from the Sherwood Place shopping mall, and it's the Sears store at the Webster Town Mall in Stockton, California. Again, one of the only two remaining Sears stores in this greater Bay Area. I don't know how this store is still here. I don't even know how these two stores are even still alive. It really is amazing. This is definitely due to some sort of lease obligations that they have to fulfill. But yes, the Sears is open in 2024. It's the Sears store at the Webster Town Mall in Stockton, California. Okay, and then we keep going down the Pacific coast of the United States and get to the greater Los Angeles area. We have the next Sears store, and it's the Sears store at the Burbank Town Center in Burbank, California. They had a whole press event about this store. They were excited about it. There was a whole blitz, a whole freaking blitz for this store. And guess what? There wasn't even a crowd. And you know what the general feedback from the perception was on this store? It's surprised. It's a very soft opening. I mean, I don't know. I think Raymond Marquez is really just doing it, and I think Eddie's running the show. He's really just using an ambassador. He's really just using his quote-unquote LinkedIn skills. I think that's why. Because, he was advertising. He was so excited about this. I mean, come on, man. We know exactly what's going on. It's you don't just reopen up. Not only that, it'd be one thing if they did a full renovation to the store. Okay, that's one thing. But you're basically reopening up you're reopening up a store that's gonna close again. They did the same thing in Texas. The same thing's gonna happen with this Sears in Burbank, unfortunately. The right buyer's gonna come along. They're gonna buy it from Sears. That'll be the end of Sears at Burbank Town Center. But for the time being, and for the sake of this video, it's the Sears store at the Burbank Town Center in Burbank, California. And the other Sears store in the greater Los Angeles area, just a few miles east, is the Sears store at the Whitwood Town Center in Whittier, California. This is, again, the one of the two remaining Sears stores in the greater Los Angeles area. This used to be a mall. Now it's an outdoor center. And again, it's the Sears store at the Whitwood Town Center in Whittier, California. All right, and we go a few miles east of the Sunbelt region of the United States, and we hit our next store, and it's actually in the state of Texas, the last Sears store in the state of Texas, just south of the El Paso International Airport, and it's the Sears store at the Cielo Vista Mall in El Paso, Texas. The reason why this Sears store is still here, Sears Mexico, is pretty much the main reason of why this store is still alive. And I know they're actually looking to subdivide this store as well. I've been hearing some rumors that Primark could potentially be coming to this store. So they might as well end up closing this store altogether too down the road. But for the time being, and for the sake of this video, it's the Sears store at the Cielo Vista Mall in El Paso, Texas. And again, the last Sears store in the Lone Star State of Texas. So pretty significant at that too. Okay, and then we're going to do our this, and then we're going to make our way up the east coast of the United States. So the next stores that we're going to hit on the U.S. Virgin Island of St. Croix, we have the Kmart store at the Sunny Isles Shopping Center in St. Croix, United States, Virgin Islands. This Kmart store has a Little Caesars pizza inside the Kmart discount department store, and that's pretty much it. This is the last Kmart store in St. Croix, United States, Virgin Islands. So we move along here from the St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, and the next two Kmart stores that we're going to hit, they're on the Kmart St. Thomas, United States, Virgin Islands. We have the Kmart store at the Lockhart Garden Shopping Center in St. Thomas, United States, Virgin Islands. This is the last multi-level Kmart in the entire Kmart fleet, so that in itself is a very, very, very interesting point. So then we move east here. We have the next Kmart store, and this is the Kmart store at the Tutu Park Mall in St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands. This is one of the very last Kmart pharmacy in the world that's not Kmart Australia. Excuse me, as well as a Little Caesars pizza inside the Kmart discount department store. And again, it's the Kmart store at the Tutu Park Mall in St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands. Although with the Walmart future development thing, we don't know how much longer this Kmart really has. So, and the other Kmart too might as well very well go. So, anyways, we go west here to San Juan, Puerto Rico. We have the Sears store at Plaza Las Americas Mall in San Juan, Puerto Rico. This is the very last Sears store within the state of Puerto Rico and the last Transformco property within the United States territory of Puerto Rico. So again, it's Sears at Plaza Las Americas Mall in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Okay, and then we move along here, the islands, the next Kmart store that we're going to hit, it's the Kmart store at the Kendall Lakes Plaza Shopping Center in Kendall Lakes, Miami, Florida. It was reduced to a garden center in March of 2023, which was last year, and it was for an at-home for the rest of the building. So Kmart is obviously here due to a lease obligation. If there's a Dollar General, Dollar Store, or Family Dollar that goes in, that will be the end of Kmart within the state of Florida. And now we're going to take a look at one of two remaining Sears stores within the state of Florida. We have the Sears store at the Coral Gables, Miami, Florida. This is the last freestanding Sears store in the entire Sears fleet that has not been or ever connected to a mall. And again, it's the Sears store in Coral Gables, Miami, Florida. And that's the Sears store. So obviously with Gardens Mall in Palm Beach, the Gardens Mall in Palm Beach Gardens closing, we have to get to our other Sears location, and that is the Sears location just outside of Universal, Disney, SeaWorld, and all those Orlando attractions. It's the Sears store at the Florida Mall in Orlando, Florida. This is the last Sears store within the state of Florida to be connected to a mall, so obviously very, very, very interesting at that. And once the Sears store does close, that will be the end of Sears being connected to a mall within the state of Florida. Obviously, probably the Coral Gables will go before Orlando. Again, it really just depends on when the lease expires at this point. So the very last Sears and Kmart store within the northeast region of the United States, we have the Kmart store at the Bridgehampton Commons Shopping Center in Bridgehampton, New York. This was known as the Martha Stewart Kmart. And you might ask, Chris, well, why was this known as the Martha Stewart Kmart? Well, because Martha Stewart back in the day would come exclusively to this Kmart store. She would sign stuff, meet and greets, and this was the store that she would shop at. So this is why this was known as the Martha Stewart Kmart. She also has a house, or still has a house out in the Hamptons, so she would be a very frequent visitor to this particular Kmart store. So the fact that this Kmart store is still alive in 2024 due to a freaking lease obligation is pretty freaking significant. If this store does announce its closing, I will probably try and make some sort of trip. Maybe I'll even stay at a hotel and tour this Kmart store for one last time. Although hotels can get pretty expensive out in the Hamptons, so I would probably have to figure out a way to make it some kind of trip or something. I don't know. But anyways, this is the Kmart store at the Bridgehampton Commons Shopping Center in Bridgehampton, New York. All right, in the last Kmart store that we're going to hit, the last Transformco property or Sears store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at the South Shore Plaza in Braintree, Massachusetts. And again, this is the Sears store because it's the last one in the state of Massachusetts, and it's the last Transformco property in the New England region of the United States of America, as well as the last Sears store in the Northeast area of the United States of America, given the closure of Sears in Jersey City, which happened two weeks ago as of this weekend. So I know it's a mouthful, but it's definitely something to be informed about. All right, so guys, those are all of the non-liquidating Sears and Kmart stores as of Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. So anyways, guys, thank you again for watching this video. Link to the map created by Dead and Dying Retail, as well as the list that I created, will be located in the video description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and that will be it.